Hey, good morning, everyone, or good afternoon, or good night. I don't know where everyone is. So, welcome, welcome, no matter what time of day it is. Hello, hello. Glad to see everybody here. I appreciate it. So, a little help from you guys. This is kind of new for us. This is, we've only been doing this a few weeks now. So, I am, I am very open to hearing any kind of changes, what you would like to see in this, because this is intraday. This is not your after hours thing. This is right here live trading. I mean, I could possibly place a trade. You could place a trade. I could close something out. You could close something out. This is live. So anyway, I would really love to hear from people, and really don't type it in here, okay? But if you will go to the live trading alerts, contact us, and send a note to Ed, and then Ed will pass it on to me. If you type it in here, truthfully, it's going to get lost, and I'm never going to see it. So that would be very helpful for me, anyway. Ed, you take care. And thank you very much for having me over here, Ed. I appreciate it. Thank you for all your work you've done on the scanner as well. Okay, so like you guys, I mean, you all know, here we are in the middle of the day. We could do some trading. We'll talk about things. I'll certainly help answer any questions I can possibly help you with. And heck, I might, you guys could probably help me with a lot of things. So we'll just kind of start it all off here. What I do want to give you is a little update on the Road to Wealth account. We started a new one, and it's currently up 13% now. I was hoping it would be up a little bit better, but there were some days that were just bad trades. It was kind of a rough time. So, but that's kind of cleared up now. I think we're on track with it, and I'm okay with up 13%. It's been a month and a couple weeks, so I'm all good with that. I want to just, I think it's important for everyone to have a edge in the market, no matter what it is. One of the edges that I have, and it's not something I can really help you with, and that's time in the market. I've got almost 34 years now, getting close to that in the market. So you learn a lot in 34 years. You learn a lot of the things you shouldn't do, and some things you're still doing them, but you're getting better at not doing them. Reading charts, price action, setting up a plan. And that's one thing I'd like to go over to and show you what I'm doing right here. I want to talk about that just a little bit today. And then the other edge I have is live trading alerts. We're not going to beat this to death. It's what tells me what I should be looking at. And as things pop up while we're talking, I'll certainly bring them up as a possible trade. Because again, we are live trading here. So there are well, let's do this. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to share with you what I've done today as far as trades go. Just a second, there we go. Need to make some adjustments. All right. So today I bought some pins, P-I-N-S. The reason I bought some pins is, one, it's been on the watch list, and it's been on the watch list because it has met our criteria to be on the watch list. So what I do is I put that, on a window that looks similar to this, and when I see it, when I see some action in it, I guess, then I want to look at the chart and then make that determination whether I want to buy it. And I chose to buy pins today, P-I-N-S. Another one that I bought today is NIO. Now this will be a good one to talk a couple things on this one. So NIO also met a few of our rules and started showing a little action today. So I picked up some pins here. Also on pins, I just, let's get over here to a nice clean chart. I want to point out how this chart is. You've got this consolidation. This is a terrific looking pop out of the box, what we call pop out of the box. Now, ultimately, what we want is the pop. That's what we don't have yet. And the pop, I mean, it could come today. It could be tomorrow. It could be the next day. Who knows? There's no way for me to predict which day it is. And what we look for is a chart that's up and then consolidates, just like that. And when you get 1, 2, let's get rid of that. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bars up there. 4 bars is usually where we start, and that makes it a set it up. It's a pop out of the box setup. So we're right there right now. So anyway, I just wanted to point that out. Haven't sold anything today for a profit, although let's see, we want to come back to this in a minute, and let's get rid of this. We don't want that on there. So Marvel, MRVL, I took half off the table yesterday, and I'm going to close it out today. Now, you all know I trade with goals, not targets. A goal is my target. This line up here is not my target. My goals are about money to me. So I reached a goal yesterday, and then today I'm actually reaching, it could be 4 goals today. Now, what I mean by goals, and I'm referring to the Road to Wealth account, I want to double my account, and I think you all know that. So starting with $10,000, we did this earlier, and the account was up. We started with $5,000 for the first one we did, and it ended up at $78,000. We closed that account. Now I'm doing it again. So my first goal is to double it. So I want to double this to $20,000. And the way I do that is I know there's 243 days in a year to trade, approximately. So I just do the math, and it comes out to about $42 a day. That's all you got to do. Pretty darn small, really. Now, as your account grows, this number also grows. So when we scale up. It hasn't scaled up enough to make any kind of changes yet, so we're still working with this. So I made my goal yesterday, selling half the order, and then today I'll sell everything, and I could make 3 to 4 times what I need. And that's how I grow the Road to Wealth account on goals. And I don't really pay attention to where any kind of magic line is. So I just so everyone knows how I do that. All right, let's go back to NIO. So NIO, I want to talk about setting up a plan. And I know this is not everyone's favorite subject. In fact, this is probably the most hated subject of all when you when you're in trading, because it's sad that most people don't want to do this. Most people just want somebody to give them a stock. Just tell me what stock is going to go up, and just, so I can make money. Unfortunately, we'll just use me for an example, okay? So I trade what I call the Road to the Wealth account, and there's a lot of people that just want to follow it. Well, I post everything to the members in the Hit Run Candlesticks trading room. They know right when I buy it, they know right when I sell it, and they're certainly more than welcome to follow it. But if that's all they do, they're probably not going to have the same results that I have. And I would almost venture to bet that they're not going to make money. And that's because no one can trade like somebody else. So it's important to learn how to set up a little bit of a trade plan so you can trade your trade. And that's what this is. Now, what I've done is on Saturdays, I've started to put something I call charts to ponder for the weekend. So Saturday morning, I post a few charts to ponder, and I set up the buy area, I set up the stop, I set up the goal. It's all right there. And NIO is one of those. Twitter was one of those as well 2 Saturdays ago, right here. And Twitter has just about reached, well, it did actually. It tagged our profit zone. This was the place to buy it, right in here. Could have been bought here, could have been bought on this candle. Even this candle maybe bought. And Twitter's run up. But like I say, all that stuff is right there. And it's so easy to do. And that's something I want to do today. So what I'm going to do is, let's take deer. And you can see deer is showing up on this crossing then trapping. And by the way, this alert right here, can everybody see it okay? I've titled it, I don't know if I'm going to keep that title, Crossing Then Trapping 3T, or the 3/8 trap is what it is. We had a member, he was talking with me and wanted to have an alert that did this, that, and the other thing. And man, I just smacked myself on the head. Why didn't I think of that? I mean, it's really kind of a cool idea. And it's so simple. Sometimes we try to overcomplicate things. I'm going to get rid of all that. There we go. Sometimes we overcomplicate things, and some of the simplest things are the best things to do. There we are. This is the chart we need to be looking at here. So what this is, this alert tells us charts that's been underneath the T line, and I think it's for it could have been underneath the T line within 15 days. I'll have to go look at the exact setup I have, but it's underneath the T line within 15 days. So if we go back 15 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let me put a marker there so we don't have to count those again. There we go. So what I'm looking for is something that's been under the T line that is now trapped. So, and by the way, you don't have to close below the T line. You could be, the low could be below the T line. I think that's what this one is right here. The low below the T line. Sorry, keep in mind I'm also trading, so I have to watch the market. We're getting a little selling coming in, just a little bit. So here we've run up. This is what this is the section I would be looking at right here. So we've run up, and you can see that we've trapped in here. This would have been a buy candle. None of these would have really been a buy. This is also below the T line, and here we are trapped in the candle. So this is how I decide to make the trade. So let's set up a really quick plan on this. Not something that's fancy or big. First thing I'm going to do is set up a buy box, and my buy box will varies. There's no real super rules to it other than you want to look at the current candle, and I also look at the previous candle. And what I'm going to do is use the top of the previous candle, because I wouldn't mind buying a breakout of today. But then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to bring the bottom up to the top of this candle, which it just happens to be the bottom of the previous candle here. So that's the buy box right there. Pretty darn simple. So let's just put a couple lines in here like this, because really it gives us the price here. So we're going to do that. So that's the buy box. So what I will do is I will just write in here buy will between, that's not right, between 224.63 and 231.48. So just like that. I'll just do something like that. Then I'm going to put it right in there. Now, you don't necessarily have to do all that, but that's, that's what I'm doing for this these Saturday charts I put out on YouTube. So then what I'll do is I'll take this and I'll color this bottom one red. Now, you guys, I'm suggesting do this, but it takes me like just a few seconds to do it. I'm talking about it now, so it's taking longer. And then what I'll do, and when it comes to my own trading, by the way, I don't do all this, okay? I'm doing this to help everyone here. And that I take the time to do it on the video, but I don't personally do this every single time. And I certainly don't write this stuff because I don't need to. Red line means stop. I don't need to write it down. The green box means buy between. I don't need to know those numbers. I just need the green box. Now, for the target, here's something that people ask me. Man, I'll tell you, if I had a buck, if I had a buck for every time this was asked, I'd make so much money it wouldn't even be funny. So when it comes to targets to the upside, if you want to know my personal truth, I think it's best not to do anything, okay? Now, some traders can't trade without some kind of a line up there. You just cannot do it. But you don't need it. I'm telling you that hurts more than it helps, in my opinion. But that's okay. For those that want a target up there, there are multiple ways you can do that. You can use fib lines if you want. You can use fib line projections if you want. Things like that. Well, here's another way to do it. And I'm going to add a plot over here. And I'm going to type in pivot points. I want pivot points, okay? There you go. Anyone ever thought of doing that? So you can see right away on the daily chart, I'm going to go right to there. How's that for a target? Does that make any sense or anything? You might go look at a weekly chart. There's a bigger target. And then let's just jump to a monthly chart, and there is a bigger target yet. There you go. Let's move this out of the way, and let's just make that go away. We don't need those lines anymore. So what's wrong with that? When it really comes down to it, the truth of it is, I would bet, well, there's 140 people in here. I would bet that 140 people really, these lines, when you think about it, are only sky hooks for you. They're not like magic. So what's going to happen is, price, you buy, okay, and then, of course, we want it to break out, right? So it breaks out. Okay, it reached the first one. Great. Maybe you take profits. Maybe you don't. I don't know. It moves up and it gets close. And we put in a signal like this, or there's some news out there that makes you nervous. You're going to sell it anyway. There just comes a time when you really have to have a serious come to Jesus meeting with yourself and really, truly know how you trade. You need to dig deep into your soul and really think about what's important to you. And are these lines that important to you? Do they really work for you? Now, I'm not against it, okay? I'm all about putting something up there if you want. It's okay. What I'm just trying to say is I wouldn't make such a big deal about where you put those lines. I really wouldn't. Now, if you want some logical way to do it, like I said, you can use fib lines, you can use the fib projection lines, you can use the pivot points that I just used. It works very well. I use them all the time. Now, I trade by goal, so these lines mean very little to me, very little. I'm all about the chart moving up, and I'm all about meeting my goal, because my goal is to double my account. Now, I'm going to say something to you that a lot of people are going to get turned off about this or wonder what kind of clown is out here talking. My goal is to double it. I have absolutely no desire to triple it. What? Where did that come from? You know, if we, what I discovered, and I didn't know, yeah, double is fine. Yeah, I agree. One thing that I did not know when I did the first Road to Wealth account, started with $5,000, ended with $78,000, something like 1,400 and some odd percent up in less than 30 months. One thing that I did not know, and it was a shocker to me, it was an absolute shocker to me, that when you know what you want at the end, and by the way, more money is not an answer, but when you know excuse me, how much money you want at the end, then it gives you an idea how much you need to make per trade. Okay? So I know that on this trade, if I just make let's just keep it round, let's round it to $50 right now, because that's what it is right now, about $50. Doggone it, excuse me. Okay, let's just say I'm in deer here, and deer is working. All right, let's go ahead and do this. Let's move it up right here, and let's say I'm up 50. Darn it, let me grab some water here. Thank you. So deer's up $50. Well, I'm also in Intel. In Intel, I've already made my goal on Intel. So here's today, I've made my goal. On Intel, I've made my goal. I'm also in Marvel, MRVL. I made a goal yesterday, and I'm going to make between 3 and 4 goals today. So what do I mean by that? 3 or 4 goals, right? So 50, and let's go for the big number, times 4, okay? So there's $200. My goal is only $50. I'm in multiple positions, and I'm doing the same thing with every single position, okay? So now, remember, my goal was just to meet my goal. Double my money. All I need to do is $50. But here, what have I done? I have tripled my goal. I have quadrupled my goal. So at the end of 12 months, we started with 10K. My only goal is to turn it into 20,000. But because I follow the same rules and I do the same thing every single day, every single trade, I do the very same thing. I look for the very same chart patterns day after day after day. And guess what? This number here could easily be $40,000. Whoops, 40. It could easier, let's go, probably should have made that 30, right? 30K. And all that is by working with your goal and being satisfied with doubling your money. And what happens is that it's magic. And this is not something I knew going into the first time I did this, the Road to Wealth account. I did not know this. I didn't know what to expect because one, for the first time in my entire trading career, I committed to only trading options. Now, very simple, and by the way, that's something I want to show you today too. Very simple directional options, that's it. So it was really, really cool. So as the account grew, then I would scale the account up. This number would grow, to $75, then maybe $100. Anyway, as the account grows, we scale it up. But that's another conversation. When I start to scale, I'll bring that up and share that. So just by having a little bit of a plan, and you guys saw that was not hard to do. I mentioned in the trading room the other day that if people would do this just for a couple of days, go through all the work, type it out, everything. Type out the words, put the lines in there, do everything for a couple of days. What will happen is there will be a point where you don't need to do it anymore. Well, I guess I've already done it. There you go. You'll just be able to see it happening. You'll just be able to see it happening. And you don't necessarily have to draw them. I would put something in there, stops, things like that, but you don't have to necessarily type in all the words and everything. You know what the lines mean. So anyway, hey, I apologize. I kind of skipped over a couple of questions here maybe. So if I do miss your question, please ask it again, okay? I'm not at all wanting to skip over anything. Doubling your money. What's wrong with that? Because, and here's another thing. Let's do this. So I'm starting with 10K. Just started last month. Let's see, this is October, September, July. Started in July, yeah. So if we double the money in a year, and let's just go just by the numbers, not any extra. Well, guess what? Guess what we're going to do next year? You got it. We're going to double that, right? Guess what we're going to do next year, the following year? You got it. We're going to double the money. You got it. So anyway, it on and on and on. On and on and on. Oh, let's see. Let's see. Luigi, is that what it is? Maybe my thoughts on WWE. My thoughts on WWE here is it's entertainment, not real wrestling. I know this. I have a grandmother that used to own an arena. I look at this chart. We've got a low, we've got a high, we've got a higher low here. Pretty good candle today. I'm very happy with that. We've got the 50-period moving average right here. So for me, the trade would only be from here to here. That could be the trade. That could be the trade right there. And I assume you're looking long. I don't think you're looking short. Maybe you are. I don't know. Maybe if somebody asks about a stock, maybe declare what you're doing there. But yeah, right now, that's what I would be looking at. So if you're setting up a plan, maybe, let's do that. Let's do that real quick. I'm not going to do everything. That would probably be my entry area right there. My stop, I'm going to go the low of today's candle for my stop. I think that's anything below that, that's just not a long trade anymore. And then we'll put, just to remind us where the 50 is, just in case you're using a naked chart. There you go. There's everything you need to know about that chart right there. So now let's go back to where we were. Now it's important to know what your risk reward is. I think this is very important. So we're just going to assume if this is bought, it's bought in about the middle, okay? I always do that because I have no clue where somebody might buy it. I couldn't tell you where I'm going to exactly buy it. So right now, we're looking at a 1.707, under 1.5% risk. And then for reward, you're looking at a 6.25% risk. So as far as the risk reward goes, I think that's top notch right there. Absolutely top notch. So anyway, that's my idea on WWW. AG is asking what the 3/8 trap is. The 3/8 trap is the three. Yeah, let's look at a different one. That one's PZ. There we go. The 3/8 trap is when price is trapped between two moving averages The two moving averages, let me rephrase that. A trap is, when we refer to a trap, what it means is price is trapped between two moving averages. The 3/8 trap means it's trapped between the 3 and the 8. The 8 being the black line, the 3 being the green line here. It's trapped in there. That's what we're looking for. Now, to go along with that, what we're looking for is a rally up and then consolidation, just like that right there. And that's exactly what we have. So there's our trade. By the way, I got to tell you, the 3/8 trap is, if this is not something you're trading, I would suggest you trade it. And I would suggest that if you are as happy with it as I am, and as you're happy with it as several thousand traders that has already been coached on this and how to do it, feel free to send me a gift card, I don't know, for a hamburger somewhere, or something. I'm just saying. Because this thing works, all right? Doug, with right way options, don't let that scare you. Don't let right way options that scare you. Doug is a great friend of mine. We're partnered up on many things. And he is teaching a class on the 3/8 trap coming up the 29th of this month, if anyone is interested. There will only be 30 seats there. It will not go up. There will not be a surprise. Well, we've closed it out because 30, we're going to open up 30 more. That is not going to happen. I promise you. And if it does, I will send you and everyone here a gift card to a restaurant. So that is not going to happen. So anyway, that's what the 3/8 trap is in a nutshell. And we'll probably look at a few more here before today's over, okay? Let's see here. Let's see, is it SHA? Thank you. I used to book very early with 1 to 2% gain, and then started to let it run for months, only to realize that I lost most chunk of profit as the stock corrects. I need to decide a better way to do it. Well, I'm not saying my way is the best way to do it. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that in 2018, January of 2018, I opened up an account with $5,100. I traded only directional options, simple puts and calls. And 3 months ago, we closed it out for $78,000. Yeah, I'll just leave that. Just think about that. Let that perk for a little bit. So, let's see. Let me grab some more here. Very little volume on dear options, but open interest. Let's do that, Dan. Thank you. Because one thing I want to show here is, so how would I set that up? Well, let's do that. And I'll show you exactly what I do. So this is my option chain here. And we're going to go to deer. Let's type in deer. Okay, grab a pencil and write this down. Okay, please. And the reason I want you to do this is I get asked this question so many times. And I know no one believes me because just about everybody asks me the same question twice, even 3 times. But I'm telling you, this is all I do. Okay. Keep in mind, I only trade simple, directional options. That's it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go out 50 days plus. That's not an issue. No, I'm not going to go 30 days. No, I'm not going to go 10. I'm going to go 50 days plus. So let's go to December right here. There's 73 days. And I can go further. If I don't like the options here, then I may go further out if I really want to buy this. So if I'm looking at December, now I'm going to come over here and I'm going to look for open interest. The open interest, I want 20 times more than I'm going to trade, minimum. So I can tell you right here, this 845 is going to be just fine. And then what I do is I want the open interest to be big enough, and I want it to match up to a delta of around 70. Around 70. So there's 72. 63 is, I'll go 65. I'll do that. Right here, I don't know that I would have to only go with the 72 delta. The open interest is just fine, so I'm going to be looking at a 210 strike. December 210 strike, just like that. That's all I do. I make the trade. That's it. And then from there, I manage the chart on the chart, not anything to do with options, okay? And we'll look at another one here because I was really hoping to, here, this may be one. LB, no. I was really hoping to buy something today. The market kind of gave us a little bit of a little pop to the downside. So there's a few things not exactly working out great. So I may have to go to a plan B or something. Ooh. We'll take a look at this one here. All right, so I'm going to erase all this stuff, okay? I'm going to take a look at PNR for possible buy. You can clearly see we've been popping off the 50-day simple, but that's not important. It just happens to be on the chart, okay? Without the 50, you can clearly see that we have a trend here. You can also clearly see, and notice I'm not in a hurry to get in, okay? I don't have to hurry up. Notice we've gone from below the T-line to above the T-line to back to the trap. That's what this does, and this one does too. This is a little different than this one, but virtually both the same. These two, we just created these last week, and I'm really digging them. I mean, I am seriously digging these alerts. I like that. Boom, boom. So below the T-line or below the trap to above the trap to in the trap, right? So that's what I'm looking at right there. So I'm not sure I'm going to actually trade this. We're going to look for another one maybe. But let's go do this. All right. So what I'm going to look at here is PNR. Is that right? Yeah, you know what? I can tell you the options are not going to be good on this. I just know this. 220 set. We're going to look at May. There's no open interest. February, no open interest. Even if I tried 45 days, no open interest. So I'm personally not going to place that trade. That's too bad because overall the chart looks fairly decent. Let's look at FSLY. Look at that one, FSLY. That might be worthwhile. Let me answer a couple questions and we might come back and possibly buy that. Let's see, Mike G. It seems like you make decisions on daily charts but monitor an intraday chart to maximize profits. Fair assessment? Nope, not fair at all. Very untrue assessment, actually. I do trade from the daily charts, yes. I focus on the daily charts, yes. When it comes to taking profits, it has nothing to do with an intraday chart. Mike, once again, as I said earlier, I trade with goals, okay? So I want to double my account. So here's what we do. There's approximately 243 days in a year. Whoops, how did I get that? 243 days a year to trade. The account I currently opened up, because what I'm trying to do is prove to traders that have smaller accounts, you actually can do it. You really can do it. The small guy is not left in the dust. Making money in the stock market is not always about the big boys. You know, us little boys can do it too, and little girls. So with $243 days to trade, how much money do you have? I don't know. You want to double it? Then just do the division and you'll know how much money you need to double it. So if I was to buy this right here, whatever my goal is, and let's just use $50, okay? If this moves up, and here's what I do. If it moves up to $100, I'll sell half, and I still have half. If it moves up more, then I'm likely to close it out. So this would be one goal met. This would be 2 or 3 goals met. And this is how you actually end up tripling and quadrupling the account. Has nothing to do with intraday, okay? Nothing at all. Let's see, somebody's asking for my longer term portfolio retirement assets. Do you have a different strategy? I do, and I'm not going to talk about it, okay? That's private. I don't, right here, what you see, I don't trade long term. I don't talk long term. That is completely separate. But yes, I do have a long-term trade, and I do trade it different. For instance, I buy and never sell. What are you going to do with long-term? I buy and never sell. So, Lugie, I know you asked about a stock earlier. I don't remember what it is. Just in the future, make sure every time you type something, if you're referring to a stock, you have to put the ticker symbol in there, okay? You're looking short, and I looked long. Oh, so just say it. If you want to put your ticker symbol back in there, we can look at it again if you want. Hello, Justin. Let's see, DocuSign here. Let's get rid of all that. And let's look at that chart for a while. DocuSign looks like a 3/8 trap. Well, you see how I have this up here? This is, who has any, don't answer because it just clutter the chat, okay? If you have TC2000, see what I did here? 3/8 trap, 50 rising, and I can't get the color to stay right. It's supposed to be dark writing. And I want to also see close above the 200. By the way, this is on the 15-minute chart, okay? And this is confirming that's a 3/8 trap. Correct, it is. Yeah. So I really like this. This is pretty nice. Here we've gone from below to up to back below, low, high, higher, low, then up, and now we're in the trap. Now you can draw a trend line right there, can't you? See, that's one of the cool things about that. You can draw a trend line now. So let's put this up kind of permanently. There you go. Now your decision is, well, do you trade this if it gets better, or is it a buy right now? And I can't tell you how to trade this. All I can do is point out what I see. And right now I see a bit of resistance right here, this shooting star up here. So I'm kind of like, well, you know what? I don't have to buy it here. The reality is you could buy this chart up here and make just as much money. If you bought it here and I bought it here, we're both going to make some money. You're not going to make any more money than I do. So now what we're going to do is let's set this chart up as a trade idea, and I'm going to have to put a line right there, and then we'll go up here and just put one right there. So there's what I see as some possible targets on this. So I'm looking to buy in this area. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till it breaks out and pulls back, and then I want to see buyers in there just like that. And by the way, that'll be the 3/8 trap as well, right in there, just like that. And I get alerted on those. I get those alerts here on the scanner. That's the cool thing. Here, PNR, this is a 3/8 trap using the volatility stop. And PNR is alerting. Okay? PNR. Now, we've already looked at that. It doesn't have great options, but that's okay. Not everyone trades options. But that's right there, right now. That would be a buy right now. If that would have had good options, I think I would have bought that. WKS is actually lining up right now for a trap. It's in the trap area. See, 3/8 trap. The 34 is rising. The 50 is rising. That's a nice chart. Let's see here. Oh, hi, Malcolm. Thank you. Yes, we are recording this. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let's see. Has CLDX broken out? CLDX. I would say yes, it has. Let's get rid of this line right here. And let's just put this line up there like that. And then we're going to just duplicate that right there. And that's where I would put it. I wouldn't mess with those two tops, but you know, everyone's different, but I don't know that it makes a difference. So this is what we call a pop out of the box, and yes, it has broken out. That's a nice chart, by the way. Very nice. Rick, did you email on the $49 as HRC membership? What are the benefits for how long? Go to the website. This is not the place to talk about that. Yeah, go to the website. Yeah, and for $49, I would say pay it and learn the benefits. You're hearing about them now, so if you like what you hear now, believe me, you'll like what the $49 get you. So for the three trap, you buy after breakout of the three. No, not necessarily. No, I'll buy in the trap. I wish the market was a little better right now. Let's go look at BYND. No, never mind. By the way, BYND was one I did on not this last Saturday, but the previous Saturday. I set it up, and we blew through. This actually was right here. We just blew right through our first target area up there. But again, this was on the Saturday recording. I'm trying to find one. Oh, here, Planet. I think Planet Fitness. Let's come over here. Oh, there we go. See, look at Planet Fitness here. You could buy inside the trap, or you could buy outside the trap. Either way would be a good place to buy. The trap just gets you in that area. That's what the trap does. And then you make a decision on if you like the trade or not. Okay, so let's go look at Planet. I like this here. Let's go to January. Options, little open interest, a little weak there in January. Terrible there. May. Terrible. Yeah. Well, see, I can't trade that. Well, let's look at November. Maybe we can cheat a little bit. Nah. See, that's not a trade for me. Now, it might be a trade for somebody, but that's not a trade for me. Love the chart, by the way. Absolutely love the chart. Let's see here. Let's keep looking. We're not going to give up just yet. Let's see what Run is doing. Check out Run. There you go. There's a 3/8 trap setting up. Very nice. I got that off the scanner, by the way. Nice little 3/8 trap here. Let's see what this looks like. That looks very nice. So Run. I'm trying hard to buy something while we're here. Let's do December. 73 days. Let's look at January. Okay, I could do that. So that's real possible right here. Yeah. So so the 70 delta, 70 delta over here, 70 strike looks good. So that's, if I was trading it, that's what I was going to do. I'm going to hold off a bit, just a tiny little bit here, I think. I might wait for something a little different. Let's just see what comes up. We can always come back to that. I'm going to write that down, though, Run. No, I want to take note, I'm not in a hurry. I don't have to get in it right now. That's been one of the biggest aha moments that I can possibly think of right there. Lynn, we might want to keep Lynn on our watch list. For some folks, you might be buying it here. I tend to like to see bullish candles rather than bearish candles, but I do like this setup. Oswald, no, I do not consider the IV. I just don't, really don't. Sound suddenly stopped. Yeah, test. Uh-oh. Dang it. There, I just started the recorder back up. Thanks, Malcolm. Thanks for helping out there. Okay, so let's see, Gwen. Rick has to put another 25 cents in the machine. Yeah. Let's see, the room is on a server. Okay, I'll refresh. There we go. Did everyone want... Malcolm, yeah, if you've got a link there, by all means, if anyone's interested in taking that trap class from Doug, yeah. Thank you. Okay. All right. Let's see here. Let's look at LVGO. Look how the scanner, see, it just brings this stuff right up. Man, I think that's pretty cool right there. Looks like the market is perking back up. It had a little bit of a push to the downside, and looks like we're perking back up. That's good. That's real good. FNGU is still hanging in there. I think that's an important chart. Marvel. Go Marvel. I am going to close this out today, and this is going to be, well, let's see here. How many is that? 60. Yeah, right now, at this second, I have reached my goal on the second half 4 times. I reached my goal yesterday 1 time. I took 1, or I think it was 1.5. And today, the goal is now 4. So this is how I can say, with a very straight face, all I care to do is double my money. That's all I care to do. Okay. Now, by doing this, what happens is it actually will end up being more. And how much more? Now that I don't know, okay? I mean, I can't predict what the rest of the year is going to be like. But it will end up being more. Everything stays the same, all right? And having a solid plan, that's important, and being alerted at the right time for the right trade. To me, if you are not being alerted for the right trade at the right time, then you really are lost. You're walking around the woods and you have no clue where you are or what you're doing. That's what this does right here, the scanner. And this is just 3 windows. I've got 10, 12 others or more. So this, you can take whatever you want, whatever setup you want. Maybe you use MACD, maybe you use RSI, maybe you use Bollinger Bands, I don't know. Maybe you use pure candlesticks, you want to see candlestick signals, it'll do that. You know, maybe you want to see where you've got a 2-bar low reversing. I don't know, bounce scans. I love bounce scans, by the way. I've got a couple of bounce scans. It's bouncing off the T-line and or the 10 simple. So I can come over here and look at that. Well, do you like that chart? I'd have to say that I do. In fact, let's look at that one. Let's see here. And see, this is the kind of stuff that makes the difference if you want to double your money. Let's see here. I'm determined to find something to buy. All right, this has possibilities here. 74 delta, 315. That is possibilities. Let's look at January. You know what? Let's see here. You know what? I think I'm going to do this. So what I'm going to do here, I'll show you exactly what I'm going to click here, and then it's all filled in on my ticket. The spread between the bid and the ask is 5.85%. I just placed the order. Let's see if it gets filled right away. We're going to trade that one right there. And let's move that up a little bit. So we'll just let that perk. I'll let you know if it gets filled here. They're running it up. Dang it, they're running it up. Shit. All right, I'm gonna try to get ahead of them just a little bit. So what I did is I raised my price. Boom, it just filled. There it went. I just bought the December calls 75 strike. So now what I'll do is I'll just simply manage this chart. Here we're broken out. I saw that. So we've broken out right there. Anything below that line, I'm going to be very, very unhappy to the point where we should probably make that our stop, right? So we've made our stop. The buy box makes sense. That's exactly what I would do right in there. So for a target here, let's go to a 3-day chart just so we can see more of this. For a target up here, I'm going to put a couple lines in there. I'm going to put one right there. And then we're going to come over here and put another one. Well, let's go right here. So now, with my purchase here, I'm looking at 3%. Now, this is the stock, okay? So the option, I'm going to make closer to 9%, maybe 10% on that. And then possibly up here on the option, it's going to be closer to 20, 25%. On this. So there we go. We're long some PAYX. PAYX. Let's see. You mentioned Boeing. I want to, because I actually had that drawn out. And you know something? You said you said I hope nobody went long on Boeing. Me, I'm waiting. Well, let's see what it does tomorrow. I'm itching to buy it. Now, I don't typically buy on candles like that. So let's see what tomorrow does. But I still like this chart on Boeing, personally. So, like I say, we'll see what happens here. Let's see here. So once it's doubled, you don't close the trade completely. No, I don't. What I'll do is take half the trade off and then let the half go. Yeah. Chart's not updating. Yeah, I think you just have to refresh there, Frank. Yeah, I think that's all you have to do is refresh. Check out GameStop. GameStop is entering the trap right now. I know this because I have the tools here. See how game is coming up? And it was also, I was looking at a different alert, but does the same thing. But GameStop. And this is one of the beauties of having the scanner, is that you're able to catch these things right away. And you know, how much work is this? You know, how much work is it just talking to you right here and looking for stocks that's in your area? So anyway, I'm going to put this back over here now. Put that down there. There we go. Marvel, that's doing okay. Nuance is okay. Just kind of taking an eyeball of the market here. All right. Okay, does anyone have any questions? We're coming up on an hour, so I would sure like to keep this close to an hour. If anyone, let's see if this works. If anyone is interested in giving the scanner a 14-day trial, you can try this link here. We'll see if that works. There you go. So okay with post earnings play? Yes, I am, Terry. If it was yesterday, would you have waited to the day after? I don't like trading. Say, I'm not going to buy something if it has earnings 2 days from now. I don't want to buy into earnings. Yeah. Let's see. Somebody is asking how to create the trendicator, and what I'm going to do. I'm not going to go through the math of it and everything. I've got a video on how to do it. I'll give you that video. I'm trying to find it right now. Just give me a sec here. It'll take long, I hope. Or maybe it will, or not. Where is that video? There it is. So if you're wanting to set up the trendicator, there's a YouTube video for it. And Shay, I don't know. Sorry if I'm saying it wrong. I don't know if you can set up investing.com. I don't know. It's impossible for me to know about all the trading programs out there. I don't have a clue. I really don't know. So Peter, with a $10,000 account, what percent are you allocating to per trade? I try to spend around $1,000 per trade. Now, good question. Now, well, I told you, and this probably raises a couple of questions. Somebody's already done the math, and you're probably already thinking, wow, that's investing an awful lot. You're risking a lot. Now, first of all, that's not true, because I have the ability to close any trade that I want to close. I can close it out. So you're not risking all that. And that's one of the things that people really lose track of is you don't. I'm not risking 1,000. I'm not risking 10% of my trade because I'm not going to let this go to zero. So I'm not risking 10%. The next thing is I'm working on my 34th year of trading. I've got a little grit in me here. Okay, I've been doing this a while. So somebody that just starts out, no, I wouldn't invest 10%. Absolutely no. What are you, bunkers? Somebody who wakes up yesterday and says, "Hey, I'm going to be a stock trader." You don't want to bet grandma's house today. So here's what I tell people. Learn how to trade first. Don't worry about making money. Don't worry about asking. Okay. Great questions, all right? But I think a lot of times people ask the wrong questions. And Shay, I'm not picking on you. You just happen to ask the questions. Or Peter, you just happen to ask the questions, okay? But the question, it's not important how much I spend on a position. What's important is, Peter, are you making money? That's what's important. Are you making money? Can you see that where your account is growing, even $10 a month? Is your account growing? So what is this? October. So October, then you've got November, you've got December, you've got January, you've got February, okay? Can you see your account growing? If the answer is yes, then we can help you scale it up. But if your account does this, if your account does this, you make $10, then you make $20 the next month, and now you lose $30 the following month, you lose $10 more, but then you make $10, you make 20. If that's what your account looks like, it really, knowing how much money I spend on a position hasn't got a doggone thing to do with your trading, or is it going to help you? Okay, so first of all, Peter, I want to say thank you for asking the question. And I'm sorry, you're just the one that asked the question, okay? So this is what people have to understand. They come to webinars. You need to really think about the questions you're asking. For instance, what moving average is this? I really get irritated if somebody says, well, what's that moving average? I want to just come back. Are you making money? That's the question you want to ask me? We have an hour here, and that's what you want to know? Really? You see what I'm trying to say? I'm honestly trying to help everybody here. And trading is about understanding charts. Start with that. And then you take the step into management, things like that. Start small. You know what I tell people that are struggling or just starting? I tell them to stop trying to make money. Just stop it. In fact, I would rather you lose money every single week. I really would. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take this whole I've got to make money out of the equation. And we're going to get the tools that we need. We're going to learn how to read the chart. We're going to get the proper tools like live trading alerts to give you an edge like no one's business. I mean, this is probably the biggest edge any trader could have right here. It's a humongous edge. So we want to learn how to actually get a trade right, not make money. So how is that possible? How can you get a trade right but not make money? Well, PAYX, go buy one share. Buy one share. Okay? You're not going to make any money, but you're not going to lose any money either. And now what you get to do is you get to take the scanner or however you're going to find your trades, you get to put everything in motion and you get to learn how to mark the chart up. You get to learn price action. You get to learn how to set up the plan. That's the stuff that's important. You want to double your money? You've got to do this first. You really, really do, okay? So, again, think about the questions you're asking. And are the questions really pertinent to you making money? Now, if you're making money, then the questions are there. But if you're struggling and where you make money this month, but you give it all back next month, well, you're not making money. You're just not. So maybe you need to rethink about how we're going about this, all right? Sorry, I got off there on a tangent, but I truly believe in my heart what I just said. I swear I believe it. And I've lived it. I've proved it. Okay. Peter, thank you very much, by the way. How many trades are you running at a time? I currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 on. It could be 12, 13 maybe, and sometimes as low as 2. So it's not a race to see how many trades I can have. The object is to find trades that are working and that will make you money. Al hang on here, Al. One sec. There we go. The recorder is back on. Let's see, Justin. Hi, Rick. Do you set stops at market or limit? Do I set stops? Okay, Justin, let's do this. I just bought PAYX. My stop right now is at $80.09. Does that answer your question? Period. That's my stop. So I guess that would be, I guess, a market the way you're putting it, maybe. Now, tomorrow, my stop would have to go up a little bit higher. So tomorrow, I would put my stop around $80.95 based on the chart that we have right now. These scans are based on 15-minute. No, these are all dailies, but you can scan. Let's stop that right over there. You can scan for a weekly, 3-day, 2-day, daily, daily plus, which includes pre-market, 4-hour, 30-minute, 15-minute, 5-minute, 3-minute, 2-minute, 1-minute. And then you can also be alerted on pretty much what I just said right here. So you can use this 1 minute. A lot of day traders use this. It's a great day trading tool if you're into day trading. I think it's a superb swing trading tool. So it's all time frame. My alerts are all but maybe one or two are all daily charts. I've got one alert here that I've got set up that I've been kind of testing. That I'm looking for a stock that's was recently in the trap, and see here how our low was in the trap over here. So it was in the trap here, but I also want a 15-minute trap. So I've been kind of playing with that, just to see how that's going to work. But that's one thing I'm working with using two different time frames. Let's see here. Terry, thanks, Rick. Great insight. Thank you, Terry. Thanks for being here. Can a 10-minute be added? I'm sure it could be added, but you know what? For the life of me, I doubt that's going to make any difference for you, okay? Whether you use 10-minute or 15-minute. I truly do, Anglo. I mean, you're going to have to convince, which I'm not the guy you have to convince. I just use the tool. You're going to have to convince Ed over at Live Trading Alerts. And the reality is, how is 10-minute going to help you any more than, a 15-minute or a 5-minute? And I would argue that it's not. Sorry, but I just don't believe it's going to help you. But again, you'd have to talk to Ed about it. Anglo, are you making money now? Do you pay your bills trading? Did you buy a new pickup truck or a new car last year? Did you buy a boat last year? Did you increase your account by $30,000 last year? Things like that. See, this is what I mean by make sure you ask the right questions. Quicker entries never made anyone any money. You've got to have the right setups. So let's look at IP. I've got no idea what this is going to look like. Here's a trap, okay? Here's a trap. Look at that. That's a beautiful looking chart. And this is the daily, and here's the 15-minute. How in the world is a 10-minute chart going to help you on this? And it's not. It's not going to do anything for you. No, I know, and I'm just saying. My question was, did you buy a boat last year? Did you take your family to Disney World last year? Did you buy a new pickup truck last year? I guess what I'm saying is, if you can show Ed that you are seriously making some dough, then he might, because that's a piece of software. It's expensive to go in and make changes. that he might put in a 10-minute chart. Me, I'm just a trader, and I would argue that the 10-minute doesn't do anything for you. I mean, here's a chart right here that I just showed you. IP. There's the daily setup, what I think is hot as hell. And now here's a 15-minute chart that, again, hot as hell. I mean, that thing looks great. How about FedEx? Here's the 15-minute chart on FedEx. There's a trap, and here's the daily chart on FedEx. That's a buy all over the place. So I'm just trying to. Anyway, I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. Okay, but anyway, Ed's the guy you've got to talk to, not me. I don't do those things. Let's see, Orson, what was that? Fantastic, what did you say? Fantastic explanation of your system. I have followed many, but you're the one my attention. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. And thanks, Angelo, thank you very much for allowing me to be completely honest and, with you, okay? Thank you. What is coupon code? Al, this is not the place to talk about that. I can't tell you what that is. If you're a member, just, yeah. Really, Al? Let's see. No, these scanners right here, these alerts, this has nothing to do with TC2000 or any other software. They run on their own. They are, in fact, you don't even have to be a stock trader if you don't want. If you just want to look at these things, you can. You just have to have internet. So they work with any program. For instance, DRI. Just come up here and type in DRI, and there you go. There's our 3/8 trap for this one. And there are, yeah. W. Look at W here. That's a great looking chart on W. Okay, I think we ought to call it. We ought to call it a day. We ought to call it a day. All right, we've been going, about a minute, about an hour, almost 20 minutes. I want to reach out and say thank you very much for being here, everybody. I hope to see you next Tuesday, same time. I appreciate it. I would love to hear some insight because I want to know what you guys want. Okay. The thing to go is go to Live Trading Alerts because Live Trading Alerts invited me over to do this. And they said I could do this every Tuesday. So go to Live Trading Alerts and there's contact us. Just send Ed a note on what you'd like to see on Tuesday, and I would I'd sure like to help you with that. So let me run through a couple of trades here so far that are looking pretty good. I'm still in CZR, by the way. I'm waiting for that to break out patiently. Intel, we're just testing this top again. I'm looking good on that right now, up 8.72%. Marvel, MRVL. That's working out. I'm going to close that today, and that's going to be 31% that I'm closing out. But I promise you I'll be closing that out today. I bought some NIO today, and it's just really doing nothing, just kind of hanging in there. Nuance here. Nuance, come on, it wants to break out. That's what I need here. And then we'll see if it can move up to about 8%, which will be about 16 to 20% on the option. PAYX, I bought that here. I'm sitting right now. Even money, hasn't really gone anywhere. PIN, I'm in PIN, and PIN's my little problem child at the moment. But I'm not too concerned. We're pulling back to the buy area, and I'm actually considering adding to this at the right time, not right now. And I don't think today will be the day. But at the right time, I may add to this. I'm looking for it to move up here, which would be about a 25% profit on the stock or closer to maybe 60% on the option, maybe. I'm also in PINS, PINS, which I bought that today, just waiting for that to move. And I'm in Wells Fargo. Let me talk about Wells Fargo real quick and then we'll close out here. So I owned Wells Fargo up here, and I got caught in that surprise gap down in the market here the other day. And I decided to keep it because Wells Fargo's a good company. It's not going anywhere. And it gapped down not because of Wells Fargo, it gapped down because the silly market gapped down. So I decided, well, I wasn't going to throw away money. So I kept it. I even added to it. Well, now we're up, and I'm about even money now. I'm real happy with it. We're back above the 50-period moving average. We've got a nice bottom constructed here. There's a nice bullish W pattern right in here that has been made. We've broken out here, so that's good. So now, I'm kind of looking forward to get back up here around 25, 25 and 26. There I'll be making some money. And then if it breaks out, I'm really making some money. And I've got 100 days left on it, so I've got plenty time to work with Wells Fargo on that. So, okay, there we go. Hey, Liz, love seeing the breakdown, how to use LT applied to my trading goals. My pleasure. You ever want just to do some LTA stuff, let me know. We can do that. Man, it's the thing to do. It's your edge. It really is. Here's DRI. We're in the trap now. Just think about it. What's your risk here? 2%? Just think about that. It's a nice trending chart. Life is good, right? If you were to buy it, there's your risk below the trap. You like it because it's in the trap. And it starts to break out. Who knows what your reward is? Who knows where it's going to go? You've got a nice little break here. Actually, we rallied up, we popped up, and now we're consolidating. Actually, very nice. So here's your consolidation area, right in there. Anyway, it's just nice to be alerted on things like this. It really is. Nuance is. Check out the daily on Nuance and look at the 15-minute on Nuance. We're a 3/8 trap. And this is the scan. I'm getting that from there. Like I said, this is one I've been playing with. Trap on the daily and the 15-minute right here. So anyway, as soon as if I like it, then I'll mention it to Ed. Ed may put it out there. I don't know. But we'll see. All right, everyone, have a wonderful, wonderful day, okay? We'll see you later. You guys all take care. Be safe. Thank you so much for being here.